coming back in a later evening. It's summer solstice 2013. And since we were just last doing a yang and yin pose, now we're going to start doing a little bit of heart opening and hip opening on the floor, and then going into relaxation. So thinking about full moon and summer solstice, we'll do pranayama breathing as well. So we were just sitting in Dandasana, and now we're going to go ahead and do a heart opener, and then starting with camel pose. So finding the hips into the lower back, and finding that solar plexus area, that place where that yellow chakra would be, right there at the sternum. Lifting up through the spine, dropping the shoulders back, squeezing the elbows, lengthening out, breathing here. And if you'd like to stay here, that's fine, or going farther, picking the hands down, one hand to the heel, the other hand to the other heel, lengthening. Drawing one hand to the hip, then the other, slowly coming back up, protecting the neck. And then we're going to go ahead and do the opposite pose, which is rabbit. So sitting onto the heels. If you have need support, having a block in between, or a bolster, something to support that if you have injury with knees. Always caring for the knees, and if this forward fold doesn't work, then doing something else. Rounding chin into the chest. I'm going to go ahead and place the top of the head on the floor in front, and I won't be talking. And then going ahead and grabbing onto the heels, rounding the spine. Opposite way as when we were doing that beautiful heart. I'm actually yellow chakra opening up the solar plexus. So rounding the chin into the chest. So we're trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears and grabbing onto the heels so that we feel that tension, that connection from the arms, the heels, and that'll help take the shoulders back. Rounding, tucking the chin in, feeling that spine rounding. And then slowly coming up, letting the head come up last. And then shifting onto the back for bridge pose. But before we get there, just gathering the hands in, dropping the shoulders down, and lifting up again through the solar plexus. Feeling that lift. And then taking Navasana. So spreading the toes wide, taking one hand out, then the other, checking out with the balance with tabletop legs, and then extending the feet out, finding that length, dropping the shoulders, finding that V, one hand and the other, trying to find that balance. And if you need to hold on, that's great, because we can keep the integrity of the posture by rotating the shoulders down and just staying up. And then drawing the knees in, a little bit of abdominal work, exhaling out. And holding it there. Drawing it in. Placing the feet on the floor, using abdominal strength to lower down. Either holding the backs of the legs or lowering. And letting the shoulders and lungs, everything relax onto the floor. Getting the feet closer to the sit bones. Rolling the weight up through the spine. Rolling through each vertebra. And releasing the glute muscles, just pressing with the feet, the heels. And lowering down through the spine. I'm going ahead and doing that again, rotating the tailbone, the pelvis is going up. Taking the left foot up and replacing it, the right. Exhaling down, opening through that heart, pressing a little bit more, lengthening the neck along the floor, rolling through the spine. And if you practice wheel, you can go ahead and do that by placing the hands next to the ears. Same setup as this bridge pose. Rolling up through the tailbone, lifting back up, finding that setup. This might be as far as you go, or you're just staying in bridge. Otherwise, pressing the hands into the floor, finding the top of the head, and pressing up. And whenever you're ready, tucking the chin toward the chest, rolling down through the spine, releasing here, and letting the knees knock together. So wheel being another heart opener, a more intense posture, taking a hand on the heart, hand on the belly, and noticing the breath there. And rolling back up and deciding what kind of inversion you'd like to set up for. You could go right to Viparita Karani, and that would be legs up the wall, having a bolster, and I can demonstrate that, or doing plow to shoulder stand or handstand, depending on where you want to go with that inversion today. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate Viparita Karani. Adjusting the mat next to the wall, finding a bolster, placing it 6 inches or so away from the wall, sitting on the edge of the bolster, one of the sit bones off, the one that's closest to the wall is off of the bolster, lengthening down with the right arm. The hips are off the bolster a bit, reaching up with the feet and opening up through the chest. Staying here. You can have a sandbag on your feet if you like a little more grounding of the hips, hip joints. And whenever the legs get tired, starting to bend them down and then rolling out to one side to exit the pose. And then setting up for going into plow pose. So engaging the muscles as you come down, lifting the legs up, and just doing a little abdominal connection before we go into plow. Squeezing the hips, lifting them up right through the lower abdominals, and then lowering it down. And 2 more like that. And then placing the hands underneath the hips and just lowering the legs just part way and up, part way down, and back. And then going ahead and getting ready. This is sort of a preparation for taking that plow. So starting to take the feet over the head, coming back, 2, spine. 3, 4, and on the 5th one, coming back over the head. And finding the hands into the lower spine. I won't talk here. And as we're unwrapping that pose, there's compression in the neck, so we don't want to talk there or move the head. It's the same in bridge pose. Sometimes we move our head, trying to keep it long and protected. And then going ahead and finding fish pose, the opposite pose there, another heart opener. So coming up onto the elbows, palms into the floor, lifting up all the way to the crown of the head, opening through, shoulders away from the ears, flexing the feet, and then, if you can, engaging with the hands, palms together. And activating a pose by lengthening through the legs. And rolling back down, protecting the neck, lengthening along the floor. And just letting that be a nice, relaxed, restorative pose, like a shavasana. We'll do a spinal twist and then relax. You can find Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together. And again, connecting with that summer solstice as the sun goes down right now and the full moon comes up. That connection with our heart, connection with our confidence, connection with our belly, creative nature, summer coming. Noticing the rise and fall of the breath. And then going ahead and helping the legs come back up to the center. Pressing the feet into the floor, shifting the hips over to the left, dropping the legs over to the right. A couple options here. You can always do eagle legs, wrapping the eagle legs, Garudasana, down and rolling over. Otherwise, you can also try the left leg is over the top and grabbing onto that bottom leg, lengthening and taking the head over to the opposite side. And returning back to the center, lifting those legs back up to the center, and then shifting the hips over to the right and finding that alignment. So either one of those three modifications. Knees can stack up on each other, or you can have the upper hip leg over the top and grabbing onto the bottom foot, or Garudasana, eagle pose, so wrapping those legs around, intertwining them. And returning the chin back to the center and releasing the legs, coming back to the center. Rolling everything over to the side. And deciding which shavasana you'd like to be in. So if you need to get a prop, or you'd like to have legs at the wall again, or some other position, finding that bolster underneath the legs, Supta Baddha Konasana, feet, arms out to the side, palms up, and just sinking down, allowing that heart, that solstice area, that sunny, sunshine space of confidence and dignity sink in for the next part of the summer. And for the purpose of this video, we won't take a very long shavasana. We're going to go ahead and imagine that we took 5 to 15 minutes of shavasana. And it generally takes 15 minutes or so for the body to completely start to relax. So taking that shavasana is beneficial. So after doing that posture, coming back up, and finishing with some pranayama breath. So let's go ahead and do the 5-finger breath. So starting with the thumb on one nostril and then the ring finger on the other. So going ahead and breathing in through the right nostril. And still having room for that breath, closing both nostrils, opening up with the ring finger, exhaling out. Inhaling through the left. Not quite a full breath, pinching the nose just right above and this point right here, and exhaling out. And inhaling, pinching both right there at that bridge, exhaling out. Inhaling, pinching both and exhaling out. Taking one more. Releasing the nose and then breathing in with both. And exhaling. And just taking another breath here. Noticing the posture, noticing how that center, that core of the body feels at this point. And returning to an intention you set at the beginning of the class or the beginning of the day, or maybe you're setting a new intention in this moment. And again, some ideas for an intention might be non-judgment, wishing for more joy or more energy, or finding hope, or just accepting the way our bodies and minds are right now. So finishing with an Om, so starting with the hands in Anjali Mudra, inhaling through the nose, and then an exhale, a nice low sound for tonight. So breathing in. Two more. Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, 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 meaning peace, peace, peace. May all the peace and blessings be with you in the summer solstice. Namaste. May the light within me honor the light within you. Again, my name is Alison, and if you have any questions about the postures or things we've done in this class, please let me know. And I'd love to talk more about yoga in general and about its history and how it can work in your life. Have a wonderful evening.